Well, good morning, crafters. Thank you for joining me at Juanette's Crafting Corner. In today's part 2 of restoring our 1898 journal, we are going to be sewing in the signatures. Now, I have 3 signatures here, and you can see they are sewn in with a hidden spine or hidden sewing area. So we're going to work on that today and have a lot of fun, right? So I have made a template of the spine of my book, and so this is the middle area where my holes will be, and then this will fold with the book. Now, again, this is some like kind of fake suede, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it to the back of my spine, my template for my spine, so that it's then covered. And I'm going to let it go over just a little bit because I think I'm going to bring this in so you will not be able to see this edge here. So I'm probably just going to glue it about like that and bring it in ever so slightly. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue here. I've lost my needle to open that up. Where'd it go? Huh. I may have left it in the kitchen. Just pull out another one. There we go. Okay, it's going to take a while for all of this to come out, so I'm going to put the camera on hold and glue it down. So what I've done is gone ahead and marked my signatures with a pencil, and I've started poking holes through them, and I line them up with my inside spine. So I'm going to just take this last signature and punch out the holes. And what I do is I lay the one signature that I've already punched the holes in this little cradle here. And then I take my awl and I just go through the same holes of the previous one. And then they will all be in the same spot in the book. And then once I do that, then I pull this one out and I can see that they're there, and I just go back in real quick just to make sure that it's gone all the way through. So I have all 3 signatures with the holes in them. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and sew them into my spine, and it's going to be a hidden one, so they're going to go like this, And let me pull out my thread and then we'll go through that. So now I'm going to sew the last signature into the spine. And what I do is I use all six strands of embroidery floss, and I run it through beeswax to give it some strength and some ability to move through the journal easily. I have a fairly large needle here that I'm going to thread, and what you're going to do is measure about 3 times the length of your journal. And I don't mind if it's even longer, because I would rather have it too long and cut some off than have it too short and not have enough. So what I do is, now I've sewn in, like I said, the back signature and the middle signature, and now I'm going to sew in the last one. So what you're going to do is come up through the spine, and I guess it would help if I'm like, wait, there's no hole there. Oh my gosh, Suede. So let's see here. We want to make sure we have it the right way. So come up through your spine to your center hole that you've punched. Sorry if my head's in the way, but I've got to see. And sometimes what I do is I take my awl and I punch it through there so I can see where I'm going. So in through the back, and I'm going to leave a pretty good tail on it. And then I'm going to come up right next to where that awl is. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll pull the awl out just as I bring the needle in. There you go. That was pretty easy. And you're going to bring it and pull it fairly taut, but make sure you don't bring your tail all the way through. So I'm going to pull it, and then we're going to go down through the next hole. And again, I've got to take my awl and make sure there it goes in. The awl goes in nicely, but oops, don't want to do that. Don't tear that old paper. I think that paper's from the 1700s. Ah, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to hold this taut, and then I'm going to go through the next hole. Bring it all the way. So then I come up through the next one, and let me just put my little awl in there so I can see the hole. Okay, and you see how loose those are? We're going to have to pull those taut because we want our signatures to be taut. Sorry about my head, guys. I'm trying to stay in the camera, plus also see what I'm doing. There we go. My thread's getting tangled here. There we go. Okay, pull it all the way through. Perfect. Okay. Whew. I get so nervous because I don't want to tear these pages. And then you go back down through this one. And you see how that's loose right there? So I need to pull that tight. And then when I go down through there, I'll pull it taut. There we go. Okay. And then skip this one. Go down to the second to the last. It does help to have that all in there. Okay, and then down through the last one. And again, pull it really tight. And then up through this one. I'm sorry guys that I'm making it difficult for you to see, but unless I can see, I can't get it done. So okay, there we go. So up through there. Okay, good. There we go. Okay, they're all nice and tight. And then back down through here. And what you're going to do is make sure that you come out on the other side of this thread. So down. Okay, just need to make sure it's on the other side. Whew, man, that makes me sweat because it makes me nervous. Because I'm telling you, this here, let's see, where did I put this? This paper is from 1769. Yeah, 1769. This is right here. I made a copy of the front page so I would remember that it's from 1769, but it is fragile, fragile paper. And I'm going to walk you through all of these papers that I have in this signature in a minute. Okay, so then we have our strings on both sides. I'm going to pull it taut, take my needle out, and then tie myself a couple of knots. Make sure it's tight. Yep. And I like to make sure it's tight here too. Yep. Oop. Bending my paper. trim that off. Okay, so now you can see that this here is going to be laid in, and it's the kind of suede, and that is going to lay inside the book, and it's going to look nice. Oh, fantastic. Woo! I was nervous with that, guys. Okay, you guys, so now I'm ready to attach the signatures. Remember, it's hidden spine. And so I'm going to attach it with Fabri-Tac. And what I'm going to do first is just put it down here and lay it in the center so that I make sure it's even. And then I'll do the sides. So somebody had told me that you need to use Fabri-Tac on the Tyvek, that will hold it well. So that's what I'm using here. And I'm heavy-handed with the glue because I don't want it to... And I just want to make sure I'm doing it the right side up with the writing. Yep. So I'm going to center that. And then again, stand up. And put that right in the middle. And just hold that there for a few minutes while that attaches. Yep, perfect. And then I'll do the sides. It's coming together. Okay, I got the middle part glued down and the other side. So now I'm going to glue down this side here. And I'm just going to run my Fabri-Tac glue all along this piece here. Kind of even bringing it down in there. And then turn it over and press it down. And then I'm going to add some clips here just to make sure that that stays down while that glue dries. And then just kind of bring that up so that that stays in there. Oh, it's coming together nicely. Looks very old, but now it's sturdy. Okay, gotta hold that in there. Okay, we're going to let that dry now. So after adding on these book corners, one of the final things to the outside is adding this piece, which is from the original book. And you can see that it is extremely fragile and just falling apart. So I'm going to glue it right here. just keeps wanting to fall, and I don't want it to fall. All right, so I'm going to add some Fabri-Tac glue to the back of it. And I have to be extremely careful because it is just very, very fragile, and it wouldn't take much for it to just crumble into a million pieces. I need to get a little bit of glue right in there. Okay. But I want to make sure I get it on the edge too. See if I can lift this up. Oh! Okay. Ah. And I'm just going to lay it right in here. That is a perfect fit for that. There. I feel better now that that I'm not gonna drop that again. Okay, and then there's another that just does not want to stay. I think it's because of, I've got another little piece right here that's part of it. Oops. That I'm going to glue, and I think I'm going to lay my glue down first and then lay the piece on top of it. Okay. Oh, there we go. Hey. And that crack in it just adds to the vintage or antique appeal to the whole book. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just really press that in there. Oh, this is fantastic. I'm very pleased with how this is coming out. I just really want that to be sealed well. Okay, perfect. And then I'm deciding on a closure, and I think a closure like this. This is one of the Tim Holtz hitch fasteners, and you screw it in here. You make a hole and you screw it in there, and then it's an elastic band closure where you put an eyelet in the back here, and then it pulls it forward. I'm still going to mull over it a little bit. I'm not absolutely positive that's the kind of closure I want, but I'm very, very pleased with how this is turning out. Considering the book was literally falling apart, and just making all of this and restoring it. It'll be fun once I start decorating the inside.